What's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Zamir from XCC Tunes. In this video I'm going to talk about one technique that I always use when I'm producing, and I noticed that a lot of Cubase producers are not aware of this feature, so I'm going to show you guys. Okay, I'm going to just grab some samples real quick. Okay, so I have this sample here. I'm going to just normalize it so it's louder. If you notice, this sample has a lot of information in the left. You can see here the fader here. The gain is more on the left side than the right side, right? Okay, if let's say I'm working on a track and I've already panned some instrument to the left and I want this to be on the right. So what we can do usually is we'll go to the combiner and then we can adjust it like so, and now it's more kind of like balanced, right? So this is one way of doing it. Okay, you can do this way, it's fine. There's another way that you can do, and that is by using the sample. Let's say if you're using a sample instead of the sample track, this is how you can do it. I'm gonna just click on the audio event and I'm gonna press F7 to bring up the offline processing window. And now I'm gonna go and click on this process and I'm gonna go to stereo flip. All right, this audio right here, it's gonna have more information on the right. You notice here? Yeah, so I'm gonna bypass this now. It's gonna go back to the left. I'm gonna enable this. It's on the right now. Okay, so we have few more options here which I'm going to talk about right now. So let's say you want to have the right side, the right signal only, but then you want this right side to be on a stereo file, which means only the right signal is going to be a stereo file, because you kind of like this, the loudness maybe. All right, so in that case you can click on the drop down menu, go to right signal to stereo. So now the right signal that you had earlier is going to be both on the stereo. However, it's going to sound like a mono because it's going to be in the same level. So now the right one is switched to the stereo, or you can go back and choose left to stereo. So left, if you notice, left is the one a bit louder earlier, isn't it? So now you notice that the left signal is now being converted to stereo. Now it's a bit more louder and you have that signal. Okay, and another thing you can do is to merge both of this left and right signal. Okay, but sometimes you have to be careful. When you merge it, it might have some kind of masking happening, like phasing stuff. So in that case you have to be aware that it's kind of lower the volume a little bit, right? So this is the original. I'm gonna drag it again here. Let me just move this to the right real quick. Okay, now in terms of the loudness, they are both in the same level, but one is on the stereo, which is more louder on the left side, and the other one is in the middle. When I'm mixing a song, sometimes I'll have a synth which is a bit more on the right or on the left, so I like to blend them or adjust them accordingly to the stereo field that I want, either left or right. All right, so I'm going to show you guys another way that I use this though. Okay, let me just grab this kontakt and I'm gonna bring my favorite string library. So let's say I have a legato. Okay, so I'm gonna play this violin right now. Okay, you notice that it's more heavy on the left. It has more gain on the left because usually violins will be panned to the left slightly according to the orchestral settings, right? So let's say I want to make them bring it to the middle. So usually I'll just right click on here and go to stereo combine panel, and then I'll adjust them like so, like I showed you earlier. But sometimes it will kind of peak on the left too, right? So I don't use that method anymore. Now I'm gonna just use this as a stereo now. Okay, I'm gonna just record something real quick. Okay, let's say this is a melody that I've been working on, and I'm gonna just right click and go to render, just with current settings, fine. So now you notice that I have more gain on the left than the right, right? So let me just mute this one real quick. Now what I can do, okay, now I'll go to F7. I'm gonna go to process, stereo flip this guy, and I merged it. Now, okay, sounds okay, but let's say I want the left to be the stereo. I want the left signal to be the stereo one, which means taking the left signal and turn it into a stereo file. So, okay, that sounds cool. So now you have a lot of options that you can play with this signal. Okay, another thing that I like to do to have a more stereo feel. This is a stereo file, right? So the one on the left is a bit louder than the one on the right. So what I can do, I'm gonna just duplicate this. I'm gonna press Alt and click on this audio event and drag this down real quick. It's gonna create a duplicate file for me, and now I have both the same file now, right? I'm gonna go to F7 and I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna actually turn the right signal to stereo. Okay. Okay, so the right signal now turned to stereo. The one on the left here, I'm gonna turn this to the left to stereo. Enable this. Okay, now I have both the signal. I'm gonna play it now. Okay, now if you hear it, you'll notice that both of this signal is in the middle, right? Now I have more control to pan these signals. So I have, maybe I can just bring this to the left a bit. And this one, I'm gonna change it to, move it to the right. Okay, now this way I have more control of how much of left signal or right signal. So I have better control about how I want these instruments to be in the stereo field. Alright, so that's how you guys can have more control of the stereo field and use it for your advantage in your production. So I hope you guys find this video helpful. If you guys did, please make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, smash the like button, and share this video to everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.